Have you ever pondered over the fleeting nature of time, the ticking clock, the passing hours, days, and years? Consider for a moment the concept of time. It's an abstract, yet a concrete entity that governs our lives. It's divided into three parts: the past, the present, and the future. Each holds its own significance, but there's one that stands out, one that we often take for granted: the present. The past is a library of lessons learned, a collection of memories, echoes of laughter and tears, victories and defeats. But it's gone. It's a closed book that we can revisit but never alter. The future, on the other hand, is a mystery. It's a canvas of endless possibilities waiting to be filled with the strokes of our choices. It's exciting and uncertain, a paradox that sparks both fear and anticipation. But it's not here yet. It's a story yet to be written. Then there's the present, the now. This very moment, as you hear these words, is the present. It's the only slice of time we truly experience. It's the point where the past and the future meet, but it's more than just a junction. It's a gift. The present moment is where life unfolds. It's where we breathe, feel, think, act. It's where we make choices that shape our future and build on our past. It's where we live, truly live. But how often do we overlook this gift? How often do we let the present slip by as we're caught up in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future? We often forget that life is not in the yesterday or the tomorrow, but in the today. We're so preoccupied with what was and what could be that we miss out on what is. We miss out on the beauty of the now, the joy of the moment, the gift of the present. It's time to pause, to take a deep breath, to feel the heartbeat of the now, to embrace the present moment, for it's all we truly have. We often drift away into the past or the future, forgetting to live in the only moment we truly have, the present. Allow me to share a tale about a man named John, a man who learned the value of the present moment. John was an ordinary fellow, with a job, a family, and a life that was seemingly perfect. Yet, he was often caught in the whirlpool of past regrets and future anxieties. His mind was a constant battlefield, echoing with what-ifs and if-onlys. One day, on an ordinary afternoon, John found himself in the company of an old monk. The monk, wise and serene, noticed John's restless aura. He asked John about his worries, and John, in a moment of vulnerability, poured out his heart. He spoke of his past mistakes that haunted him and his fear for what the future held. The monk listened patiently, and then, with a kind smile, imparted wisdom that would change John's life forever. He told John, "The past is a ghost, and the future is a dream. The only reality is the present moment." He explained that clinging to past regrets or future anxieties only robbed him of his present happiness. He advised John to let go of his ego, the constant need for approval, control, and perfection, which was the root cause of his suffering. John was taken aback. He had never looked at life from this perspective. He had always believed that obsessing over his past and future was a way of gaining control over his life, but all it had done was make him miserable. With the monk's words ringing in his ears, John decided to change. He started practicing mindfulness, focusing on the present moment. He learned to appreciate the simple joys of life: the warmth of the morning sun, the laughter of his children, the aroma of his wife's cooking. He started to see the world with a new perspective, without the veil of his ego. He realized that he was not superior or inferior to anyone. He was just a human like everyone else, and that was perfectly okay. Gradually, John's life began to transform. He was happier, calmer, and more content. His relationships improved, and he was more productive at work. He learned to forgive himself for his past mistakes and let go of his anxieties about the future. He realized that every moment was a gift, a chance to experience life in all its glory. The story of John is a testament to the power of the present moment. It shows us that letting go of our ego, our constant desire for more, can lead to profound happiness and peace. It reminds us that we are not gods but humans, and that's perfectly okay. It teaches us to appreciate the present moment, for it is the only reality we have. John's life was never the same after he learned to live in the present and remove his ego. Ego often acts as a barrier, a veil that prevents us from truly experiencing the present. Our ego, that little voice inside our head, has a knack for distorting reality. It's like a self-appointed judge and jury, always ready to compare ourselves with others, to evaluate our worth, and to tell us whether we're winning or losing in the game of life. It thrives on comparison, judgment, and breeds negative emotions. It whispers that we are better or worse, more deserving or less fortunate, that we're separate from the world around us. And in doing so, it pulls us away from the beauty of the present moment. But what is the ego really? It's our self-perception, our identity. It's the story we tell ourselves about who we are. But here's the thing. This story is not us. It's a construct, a fabrication. And the more we identify with this narrative, the more we believe it to be true, the less we're able to truly live in the present. Because the ego is always looking backwards, dwelling on past triumphs and failures, or projecting forward, dreaming of future success or fearing potential setbacks. So how can we remove this barrier, this veil? It starts with awareness. By recognizing that our ego is not our true self. It's just a story. And like any story, it can be rewritten. We can choose to let go of the comparisons, the judgments, the fears, and insecurities. We can choose to embrace compassion for ourselves and for others. We can choose to live in the present, to truly see the world as it is, unfiltered by the lens of ego. And when we do, something extraordinary happens. We start to experience life in its raw, beautiful form. We see the world with fresh eyes. We realize that each moment, each breath is a gift. By removing the ego, we can experience life unfiltered in its raw and beautiful form. Living in the present is not merely a philosophical concept, it is a way of life. It's a conscious choice we make every second of every day, a decision that shapes our experience of life. Through the story of John, we've seen how stepping away from the ego and embracing the present moment can transform one's life in unimaginable ways. Let's take a moment to reflect on the main points of our conversation. We've talked about the present moment, that elusive, intangible now that is all we truly have. We've seen how the ego, with its incessant need for validation, can often cloud our perception of the present, causing us to miss out on the beauty and richness of the moment. Living in the present does not mean forgetting about the past or ignoring the future. Rather, it's about acknowledging and accepting the past as it is, and using it as a stepping stone to move forward. It's about planning for the future, but not at the expense of the present. It's about being fully engaged and immersed in whatever you're doing at this very moment, whether it's sipping a cup of coffee, reading a book, or having a conversation. The benefits of living in the present are numerous. When we are truly present, we become more aware of our surroundings and our feelings. We start to notice the little things that we often take for granted, the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of a child. This heightened awareness brings with it a sense of gratitude and peace. Our mind becomes calmer, our thoughts clearer, our hearts lighter. But perhaps the most profound benefit of living in the present is the realization that every moment is a gift, a unique, irreplaceable gift that is ours to enjoy. When we let go of our ego and fully immerse ourselves in the now, we begin to appreciate this gift in all its glory. The present moment is indeed a gift that we can truly appreciate when we remove our ego and immerse ourselves fully in the now. Remember, you are not God, you are human, and the world is a better place when we embrace our humanity and live in the present. It's crucial to understand that life unfolds in the present. But so often we let the present slip away, allowing time to rush past unobserved and unseized. We squander the precious seconds of our lives as we worry about the future and ruminate about what's past. Yet life can be so much more, so much better, if we decided to step out of the confines of our ego. Imagine the liberation, the freedom that comes from letting go of the false self, the one that always wants to impress, always wants to be seen as perfect. Believe in yourself, in your potential for growth, for improvement. See the beauty in everyday life, in every moment that passes. Live each day as if it's your last. Cherish the present moment. And remember, the world is a beautiful place when we remove our ego and truly live in the now. Now that we've talked about the importance of embracing the present and letting go of our ego, let's take a moment to engage with the present. If you've enjoyed this video, if it sparked some thoughts or feelings, let's connect. Hit the like button if you found our discourse valuable. By subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, but you're also becoming part of a community, a collective of individuals seeking to live more consciously in the present. And remember, your thoughts are valuable. Comment below, share your feelings, your experiences with the ego, and living in the present. It's through sharing that we learn, grow, and deepen our understanding. So let's not let this moment slip away. Engage with it, engage with us. Let's generate a community together. Thank you.